Hello and welcome to Talk with J.O. We keep saying that Talk with J.O. is all about inspiring stories. Everyone is important, everyone has a story to tell, and everyone's story is important. This is a special edition, man. You know, COVID has pushed people to use technology, so today we're going to make use of it, you know. And today I'm privileged to host Daniel Ried. He's a German, you know, he's based in Germany, but not right now. He's somewhere in I think in Canary Islands. So we'll get to know where he is. And he's my guest today. He's an perspective and entrepreneurial coach. I met him a couple of months ago through some program by an organization called NPACT, and he's been coaching me for some time, you know, together with my team on business, and it's been a really, really great honor working with him. And today I get to host him on the show. Daniel, so good to see you, my man.
Thanks. It's an honor to me to be on your side.
Oh man,
cool.
Thank you.
I'm quite excited.
Awesome. I am also excited. Thank you so much for making time to come on the show. I know you've watched Talk with J.O. definitely. We always say that Talk with J.O. is all about inspiring stories. Everyone is important, everyone has a story to tell, and everyone's story is important. So you are important, and I'm so glad that you honored, you know, the invitation to come and be on the show.
Thanks a lot, really cool.
Yeah, so for the sake of our viewer, you know, I'd like you to introduce yourself, you know, your full name and where you're from, where you are right now, because I know you're from Germany, you know, but right now I know you're enjoying your time somewhere in some beautiful island.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm happy to. Hi, everybody there. So my name is Daniel Ried, like the German R-I-E-T-H, just difficult to say, I know, difficult to write in German even. But nevertheless, I grew up really in Germany. Meanwhile, I need to say, after all of these experiences all over the world, I call it my home country for sure, and there is my home base, but I'm a global person somehow. It feels like I'm a global person. And also the connection with you, that's pretty cool, also reflecting some of this globalization, because I think we connected pretty quickly when we got together a few months ago. I'm a countryside boy, very simple, grew up in a of course, German environment. I mean, it's Germany like you might know it. If not, it's beautiful, well organized. It's a wealthy country, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I received a quite nice childhood. Parents were able to give us I have two sisters, give us a nice home. So I went to school, did my studies, and I studied chemical engineering actually. And after some years of more management than engineering, because I'm a very bad engineer, right? But my love is more on the people side, less on the technical side. I understand it quite well, but I had the pleasure to work for a German corporate in Germany, and then they sent me to China. I had the chance to live for 3 years in China.
Okay.
And that opened my horizon more and more, besides a lot of backpacking and meeting people all over the world when I was walking and traveling around.
Wow.
And then also in Germany. And then after China, I went quickly into it was not the decision, it was more a gut feeling of doing something else.
Yeah.
So I decided to have a break in my corporate career, which was quite successful, I need to say.
Yeah.
Just to have a break and get to know what's going on for me and in my life. I didn't know why I do this, I just had the feeling I had to do it. And so I studied an MBA, which is Master of Business Administration, which you can do in a 1-year program. I could do it. And this I did in Berlin, so that was my first contact really with Berlin. And there, after this very inspiring and interesting year, I started traveling again. So there was this wish in myself of traveling without an endpoint. So whenever I meet people on the way, and I was asking them in Mexico, Guatemala, or wherever, like, how long are you traveling? Oh, we don't know. Yeah, what does it mean? When do you go back? Oh, we don't know. And I wanted this as well. Right? I never could say, I don't know. I always had to say, like, I have vacation for 4 weeks, or I have vacation for 2 weeks. And I also wanted to say, I don't know. Right? So I did it. Right? So I just went backpacking. Of course, I had a gut feeling how long I can do this and want to do this, but in the end, it started my way of being more, taking care more of myself, reflecting more, and using all the experiences on the way to find out what do I want to do. By that time, I was 31, 32 actually. I started more and more thinking about, okay, what is meaningful to me? What is purpose in life? What do I want to do? Just enjoying, or is there anything more? I had not have any clarity. I was just going with the flow, and I enjoyed it very much. It was a very good life. And then on that way, I started more and more my entrepreneurial thoughts. And then there was this crazy one guy, Norbert, good friend today, whom I met in Panama City in a hostel. Everybody was like playing guitar and coming back from diving and enjoying and having a beer and sitting around in this huge hostel in Casco Viejo, pretty nice. And then he was sitting always on the balcony with his computer, and I'm asking, what are you doing here, right? This is like always writing, always doing. And he said, I'm preparing my business. So it was from northern Italy. It's called Südtirol, South Tyrol. And I want to start a business here in Panama, helping hotels to equip properly, building hotel rooms, designing and furnishing. And I said, okay, Panama, you here. And so we kept the conversation for 2 days. And then we had a beer down on the street, just sitting on the street floor. And he said, Daniel, I need you to join me here.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, you need to do this. So this guy, crazy, like, right? Let me go traveling. And I went to Argentina and Chile. But we stood in touch, and we exchanged thoughts, and we exchanged the roadmap. We never talked about a business plan. We talked about the roadmap. We're discussing how we could bring in our competencies and how we could add. And then I went home, and my mom was was very funny. I went home after this trip, and I was like, okay, what do I do? Do I go to Argentina to do whatever? I don't know. Learning Spanish, maybe, not more. Buenos Aires, I love it, but learning Spanish. Or do I go to Panama, where this guy says, please come to me? Or do I go to Berlin? Because Berlin is my people, my spirit, my mindset. Berlin is exactly fitting to me.
Yeah.
And then my mom said to me, you need to go to Panama. If you don't go, you never find out if it's good or not. So I packed my stuff, went to Panama, and started my first trial of a company.
Okay.
Which totally failed. So I failed after 3 months already. It was a conscious decision to stop it. And Norbert, he went on for some years pivoting and working on it and trying and kept going and believing in it. But that was my start into the entrepreneurial landscape. And from that on, you have a question?
What business? What business did you start? No worries, man. What business did you start in Panama?
Oh, that was about hotel interior design. So just imagine you have a let's say there's a hotel with 20 rooms.
Yeah.
And if you enter hotel rooms anywhere in the world, it's getting better, but still it's you enter it as a guest and you say, where do I put my suitcase? How does it work?
Yeah.
There's so much happening in a hotel room which is not practical at all, which doesn't make sense at all, which looks maybe fancy, but there's no help at all.
That's right.
And on the other hand, there's lots of tools and devices which I never touch. So you can do a lot of things right and wrong in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And my partner had the expertise how to design things, from handles over furniture to the whole interior. And he had the idea of how to build it. So he could build a production site because he was working for such hotel and bedroom equipment companies in northern Italy and in Austria, I think, as well.
Interesting. You know, Daniel, my interaction with you the last couple of months has been exciting in this way. I found you very, very honest and very, very vulnerable, you know. And one of the things sometimes entrepreneurs shy to do is share their failures, you know. You just openly said, you know, hey, I started this business, this hotel interior business in Panama, and I failed terribly, you know. So can you just a little bit, just for very few minutes?
Every business I failed, every.
Oh my.
It's just my life is working nicely. But business-wise, I'm a very bad businessman. Yes.
Interesting. But I know he was a good businessman, you know. I know he was a good businessman. So why did your business fail? Like what are some of the things? Were they like mistakes on your end? Were they circumstantial? Were they policy or regulation? Like why did the business fail? Or why even some of the businesses that you've been failed? Yeah.
A big mix. I can tell you some examples, and then you will. All of the things when I'm looking back, say, that could lead to failure. All of the things, which I'm using now heavily. I'm doing a lot of coaching and mentoring nowadays for entrepreneurs, for startups, for many people.
Yeah.
And let's take the Panama thing, because there I learned a lot. I didn't have any idea about startup when I was in Panama.
Yeah.
But what I know from my practical experience in the corporate environment and from my MBA studies, theoretically I know how to understand the numbers and finance, the value chain, and what is product, service, market, customer. All of these things I understood, but I didn't have any experience. So the first mistake I made, I thought I can start a business with somebody in Panama. Now I know it's totally stupid.
Yeah.
Because there's this basic rules that you need to be in the market which you want to conquer. Okay. But being in the market means also you need to live and understand the market. Mm-hmm. Understanding starts with language.
Yeah.
And I would say I speak okay Spanish, but I'm not a native speaker.
Yeah.
And I can understand language, but I cannot understand culture automatically.
That's right.
So the Panama culture, business culture, the culture of the city, everything included, I had no idea. And my partner, the same. We were two foreigners in Panama.
Yeah.
Who tried to set up something where there's a lot of competition, where there's a lot of corruption, where there's a lot of mafia, where there's a lot of things which we didn't have any idea about.
Yeah.
We didn't know the local rules. Besides, we started into a venture which was very capital intensive, which we realized after a time.
Yeah.
And having no capital, going into a capital intensive business field, you need to have a sponsor, an investor whom you convince. We had nothing in our hand to convince anybody.
Yeah.
No experience, no track record, nothing which was helping us to do such a business. And then I learned something which is also very important.
Yeah.
We were always pretty open with I call him, he was the founder and I was the co-founder, but somehow we were trying to get on eye level.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized, I painted some pictures at home on the floor with the value chain from who are our partners, whom are we interacting with. And I just tried to work with red and green. Red to get an idea what's difficult for us, green for, hey, here's an okay. Mm-hmm. And the whole floor was red. Nothing worked for us. There was only a tiny piece of paper which worked. That was consulting. Because you don't need investment, you just need your time. You need to eat, you drink, and you need your brain. And it's easy to supply some value, provide some value to customers. So I went to Norbert and tried to tell him and convince him, hey, what you have in mind, it's all nice, but that's not, I don't see that we get there. We need to start with something which is then a cash cow, giving us stability, and from there develop. And he had very different opinion about it. Yeah. And we were discussing forth and back for some time. Yeah. And realized very quickly, okay, we don't come to a joint understanding. Mm-hmm. And there was a moment when I realized, okay, how do I find out if I stop or if I continue? Yeah. I was just asking myself, Daniel, would you take now 10,000 euro from your bank account, invest in your business? Mm-hmm. And I said to myself, no, never ever. Stop the business. Okay. Right? Difficult. There's no meaning. Yeah. If I don't believe in it, there's no meaning. Yeah. So I stopped it in the way of supporting him a little bit, closing some work, handing it over to him so he can use everything which we have worked on. Yeah. Peace to him, and I decided to go back and start something else. Okay. So it's a mix of culture, language, team, not understanding the market. Yeah. But I didn't learn enough out of this because some years later, I joined an IT startup. And for 1.5 years, that was in 2012, 2013, 2014, we were building it up quite successfully, my partner Jan and me. Unbelievable idea of bringing together all messaging like messaging and contacts into one place to send, receive, and deal and communicate in one place, which could be a digital solution on a laptop, on a mobile phone. Pretty much what hardware mobile phone delivers. Just imagine an app could do all of this what a phone is doing.
Yeah.
Right, from the understanding. So I have to say, I don't love IT. I'm just a user. I don't understand it. So again, I trapped into a field where I have no idea about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yes, I know finance. Yes, I know marketing. I think I'm a good storyteller. I think I'm very easy to be excited and to excite others.
Yeah.
I'm very good in dealing with people. So I'm very adaptable and I have a strong idea myself. But that's not enough. I didn't understand the business field, and after 1.5 years, also we as a team came to the point that we didn't make enough progress and success for him and for me that we both thought it's working. And in the end he came up and said, Daniel, we need to stop. I cannot continue with you because I don't see the future with you. It was hard, 1.5 years, investment just on the bank account. You imagine the whole story. Investors invested in the idea, in the technology, in him, but also in me dealing with him. Also in me doing my part.
Yeah.
That was hard, but in the end, it was also easy. Because I just had my peace in life with the wife at my side, whom I love from the deepest of my heart, Carmen. And she was just pregnant with Enno, my little boy, who is 6 years now. And I was just ivy with this. I was not happy. But I was just, okay, that's a lesson in life again. Learning from it, so fuck up again. It was not the second. There are fuck ups in between, but I could tip on them later on if you like, if we have time.
Yeah.
But I learned these lessons on the way and keep going. Always checking, who are you? What do I want? And more learning how to listen to my guts, to my heart. Not too much deciding with the brain. So what I learned with all the things is, if I want something, want, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
But if I feel it, if I believe in it, that's very powerful.
I love it.
I love it. Talent, chance, market, you need all of the components.
Yeah. I love it, man. I mean, what can you tell someone who, is watching us, probably, having a startup or, starting a relationship or, just trying out something new, and they are actually right in the middle of failing. They have failed or they are on the verge of failing. And you're saying I just
listened to an Austrian podcast where ladies very much focusing on, we are here to fail, right? Our job is to fail. Or like my mentor in the Startup Bootcamp Accelerator always said, you need to knock 100 doors to get 99 no's.
Yeah.
You need to collect no's to get a yes at some point.
I love it.
And I would not even limit it to startup and entrepreneurial things.
Yeah.
Or to any project or to your life.
Yeah.
If you have an idea, a feeling, the wish to do something, get clarity about it, get it consciously in your mind, visualize it, write it down, whatever is good for you. There's many tools. Ask people for tools if you don't know tools, and then start doing. That's why conclusively, after some years getting into mentoring, I started my own initiative called Dream and Do in English, Träumen and Machen.
Yeah.
In
what
German.
Did you please say it again in German?
Realizing their dreams.
Say that dream and do in German. I wanna learn that. Dream and do. Say it again.
Träumen und machen.
Träumen und machen.
Träumen, like like tension.
Yes. Träumen und
machen.
Machen.
Oh, here. You can read it.
Träumen und machen.
Exactly.
I love it.
And this is about it. I'm living it myself. So I realized I need something like this initiative where people come together, where people help each other. And that's one of my personal stories as well, I always wanted to create a link between this somehow startup bubble. I was heavily involved in the music industry for some while. The music bubble. I had all this creative input and surrounding and friends. And the bubbles to each other don't understand each other very well. And I felt like we need a little bit of translation.
Yeah.
We need a little bit of take the components and bring them together to the normal people, like you, like me, like my mom, like everybody.
Yeah, that's good, man. We're gonna talk about dream and do, like go very deep into it. But I would like you to continue with the story. You know, you left me. We just picked up some lessons, you know, from your story. But you were in Panama, so you closed this
Yes.
business which failed, and then what?
Then I went home and I needed to digest, of course, right?
Yeah,
If kids do cry if something is not right, I cry as well, right? It's like shit that didn't work. It helps me because I'm not very spiritual, but I'm very number oriented, facts oriented. I'm a reality person. So I needed to understand, why did it go wrong? What was wrong? And then just find my peace with it and keep. It's a little bit a combination of a little bit thankfulness, humbleness, a positive attitude. I have a very positive natural attitude.
yeah,
So, and being clean and open again and for new things. I mean, this is so not sticking to it like, oh, bad. Yes, that was bad, but at one point, what's now? What's next? That days after Panama, that was about 2010, late 2010.
okay,
I didn't know what's next. I just know Berlin is calling me, and I go to Berlin. That's all I knew. And I
okay,
had the feeling, after all my years in China and traveling, I had the feeling of having a proper job again. Mom tells me have a proper job, society tells me have a proper job. So this is what I did. I went into this job in the gas industry. I was for a very short time, like half a year. I was responsible for the business development and product management of natural gas as a fuel. So how to bring natural gas to the streets in Germany so that the car economy or the car infrastructure is focusing more on gas other than diesel and other fuel types which are out there. I was quite suiting into the need of this very young organization.
Yeah.
Behind the young organization there was this huge multi-billion gas industry in Germany. So I had a nice job, suit and tie, office in Berlin, everything somebody could dream of.
yeah,
I realized after a while working with these people that it didn't fit to me. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel that they understand me. I was in China. China working was like this, dynamic,
yeah,
right? Like something doesn't work, improvising. You're living in Africa, improvising, not stopping. Problem, solution, right?
yeah,
Optimizing, how to do it. Yeah, that was crazy. And then I come into the German gas industry. Slowing down. We need to change politics. We need to change attitude. We need to talk to Stadtwerke, who are suppliers of energy and electricity and gas, to the villages and cities and local communities. And it was just not my world. And I did not feel understood. So I decided, okay, I need to leave that. I didn't know how to get out. But these days I had also a girlfriend, also a musician, and she was a very, very young newcomer, but at the same time got very much focus from TV channels, and they wanted to do productions with her.
okay,
And then I supported her, and it was the next business of myself, besides my gas job. I did the big mistake. I put all my money in. It started with having a job, putting my money in, then I quit that job supporting her, getting an airplane ticket, going to California, shooting with the video team, being with her on her side, just helping a bit. Helping a month, helping two, helping half a year, helping a year, putting all my money in, and finally I was broke.
You like putting your money in, you know, all your money in lots of businesses.
It's not about putting it in general, but
Yeah.
I felt it's worth it. I believed in it. It was
Yeah.
super high risk.
Yeah.
I was not putting it into different baskets.
Yeah,
Totally unreasonable. I didn't understand the market. I didn't understand the business.
Yeah.
I was in love. Total big business, big problem. You're in love. Don't invest in love. Love, love you live. Don't invest in love. Yes, I invest in my wife and in my son now, to have a good life with them, to make sure they have a future good life, but not like a business investor.
yeah,
Right? Where's the return on invest? That's wrong. So I made this mistake, and the hardest lesson learned was then she left me. I lost my job because I was the manager. We had a co-management very successful music managements.
Yeah.
And we had the Sonys and Universals in our living room. Things like this happened already.
Yeah.
So we were on the agenda of big fish, but we didn't achieve anything. And finally, I was there very alone in a too big apartment, which I could not afford alone. And my bank account was empty. That was really as down as you can go. You need some time.
Wow. You know, I find your story very interesting, Daniel, man. You are a chemical engineer. You know, you lived in Germany, lived in Panama Island, lived in China. You've gone to all these. How many countries have you visited in total? Do you have a number?
I need to count again. But
yeah, but there are.
It's not half of the world yet. But let's say 80.
Oh my goodness! I thought I'd love to travel, but I'm just realizing that I haven't even scratched the surface.
I'm 45. I'm older than you, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm not yet there.
You're fine.
Yeah, but really exciting, man. One of the things you told me, you know, when we were having, you know, during our sessions, our coaching sessions, you told me about, you know, your amazing wife, Carmen. Shout out to her. I know she'll watch this, and your wonderful son.
Listening behind the scenes now.
Oh, good. You know, hey, Carmen, and all, your son. Yeah. I know she does a lot of music stuff. You know, when you're telling me that you had this girlfriend who was doing all this music stuff, I thought it was her. So that was someone else. So
something going on with music, right?
Yeah. So at what point did you now meet Carmen and Yaya?
I met Carmen. Let me think. That was a time when I was in the IT startup.
I'm really sorry. I just realized I asked you the wrong question. Because
then ask another question. Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just pulling your leg. You know, I'm told when you ask men when they met or when is their anniversary or how long they're married, they kind of don't get the number right. When you ask the woman,
I do. Don't worry.
They have the exact date. So anyway, you tell me the story.
I'm a number person.
Okay.
We are always fighting about which is the right day, but that doesn't matter too much. Let's say June 2030. We were meeting because I was helping a friend who had with her band a record release just next to Carmen's door randomly, and I was a doorman. And doorman selling CDs, helping out with whatever had to be done in Berlin actually.
Yeah.
And she was in front of the door, and I'm very extroverted. So I say, "Hey, come in, nicest concert ever, ba 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 ba." Yeah, too much. I know, but that's how I am, right? And then she's like, "Ken," and then she came to the door. And I said, "I know you." And she's already a musician. She's active in Berlin. She has lived there for years. So she's not superstar, but it can be that you have seen her, heard her. Could be, but she was like, another guy like this.
Yeah.
Like, no, I know you. She's like, isn't your name, aren't you Carmen? And she was like, whoa, this guy really knows me.
Uh-huh.
And then I didn't pay too much attention. She came in, she wanted to visit the party, the concert. But then I never forget the picture. She was there with a friend. And at some point of the concert, early time, there was a seat free next to me. And she came to me, sit down, and was doing like this. I tried to act it. And I'm sitting there where you see this, the Buddha, right? It's like, she sits down and does like this. There was this look of, so who are you now?
Yeah.
I want to know more. And that's where it started. The rest is
history. Good stuff, man. I'd like us to close. No, that's really sweet, man. I'd like us to close part 1, and then we shift to part 2, where we now talk about dream and do. But before we take that break, I know you have visited my beautiful country. I don't know if you can see my cup here. Can you tell this? This is a flag. This is a Kenyan flag.
Yes.
Yeah, and
What's
I
in the
mean,
middle?
oh, this is a. Can you? Oh, you see, you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have red, black, white, and green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Black means the color of our skin. White stands for peace. Red is the color for the blood that people who fought for independence, the blood they shed. And green is for the environment,
Yes.
our beautiful land. So yeah, that's our national flag, and I'm enjoying some Kenyan tea here.
Nice one.
Yeah. So what point did you visit? Because you mentioned to me that you ever visited Nairobi. When did
Yes,
you
yes,
visit,
yes.
and how was your experience as we come to a close of this part?
Many years ago, I was a young boy, always struggling if it was 94 or 95. I think it was 1995.
Yeah.
An uncle of mine was in good relation with a friend of his who went to Rwanda to do some development work, and to Uganda to do some development work, and we were, his family and my cousin and me, we were traveling as a group to Nairobi, and from there through the country, and then spent some time in Uganda. We went into Rwanda and then the way back. And this was my touching point with Kenya. And I have only good memories. I mean, it's a long time ago, but that's what I've seen, right? It was an impressive new world to me. I didn't have any contact with the Africas at all before. That was my first African impression at all. So there was, and it stick quite heavy to me, all this tour and this experience. And I'm still in touch with all these friends from these days. So, yeah. Do you know more?
Very nice, man.
You want to know more about the trip?
I am waiting for you to come. We have to create some new. We have to create. I'm waiting for you, Carmen and Enel to come, so that we can create some more memories, because
absolutely
from then and now, man, Nairobi looks different. The country is beautiful, has lots of good places to visit, has wonderful people, which is the most important thing. Yeah, man. So I'd like to take a break, and then we're going to continue. Yeah, you want to say something?
Before the break, you know why I traveled so many countries? Part of the trips I did because people say, hey, come around.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy who does things like this. So at one point it's, hey, why not now? Okay, let's do it now. That's how I ended up being right now on the Canary Islands. Right? Why not?
Yeah.
Life is too short not to do things.
Good. Why not Kenya? Carmen, I know Carmen is hearing me in the background. You guys must come to Kenya, man.
We're planning already.
Awesome. Love to hear that, man. Yeah, this is amazing, man. I told you, man, Daniel is an amazing guy. You can tell he's a brilliant storyteller. He has very interesting stories. He has an amazing perspective about business entrepreneurship. I like the fact that he's very honest, very vulnerable about failure, about life issues. And it's just an incredible story we're getting here right here on part 1. We're going to take a break, but we'll catch you on part 2 right here on Talk with J.O., where it's all about inspiring stories.